There it goes. Hello and welcome to BL Week in Review. I'm just going to go ahead and do the intro because this is also going to be a recorded video for later. So my name is BLSongbird, and this is a live that is formatted in a Q&A style, which means that I'll be talking, but I'll also be asking questions and you guys feel free to respond in the live chat. If you don't have the chat turned on, I would consider doing so because it'll be way more fun that way. I'm hoping to kind of just make this a community event. Hi! Make this a community event where everybody can participate and everybody can voice their thoughts about what's happening during the week in the BL world. So that's kind of the plan for this live in general that we're going to do weekly. I want to make a note for next week right now before we even really get started. And that is, I am a teacher. Next week in our country and state, it is testing, like standardized testing. And so this live next week will not be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Rather, it will be at 6 p.m. So next week, this live will be at 6 p.m. That's just an extra note for everybody. Hopefully people can make it. I don't know. It's just you and I, maybe. That's okay. Might go faster than last week with just one person. So this week, we're going to be chatting about Ossan's Love Thailand and other series that are starting and ending. If you want to chime in at any point, that would be great. I guess, Michelle, the question is that I was going to start with was the little mini personal Q&A. If you have any questions for me, this is the time, and I'll go ahead and do my best to answer them. My favorite type of BL, while we're waiting and seeing if you have any questions, my favorite type of BL is the heartwarming type. I think that's the type that gives me comfort. So an example of that would be Cupid's Last Wish. Cupid's Last Wish is super heartwarming. It makes me just smile inside every time I watch it. I love the OST. I think it's really cute. I always get up and dance. I never actually skip the OST for Cupid's Last Wish because I think it's super cute. So yeah, that's my favorite comfort series is Cupid's Last Wish. I'm also, why do you write BLs and not other genres? That's a good question, Michelle. Why do I write BLs and not other genres? It's probably, it started in other genres actually. Back along, I started when I was a kid in poetry. I was terrified of writing novels because I didn't think I could do it. And I didn't think I could do it up until I was, well, just a couple of years ago, actually, up until 2020 or so. I got the courage to try one. It started out as a like hetero romance, actually. BL poetry. There's poetic elements in my novels. For some reason, I like making at least one character a singer. That's just been my thing. And so there's always lyrics in my novels, and they're always original lyrics. Does that count? But I think I write in the BL genre specifically because I feel like writing stories where being in the LGBTQIA plus community is just another way to be. It's not anything stigmatized. There's no negativity around it. I think writing that way and having those kinds of stories available for people to read is actually really, really important. um, eh, because it is a normal way to be. And I think seeing it as such um, is helpful for people inside the community and outside the community. So that's the primary reason I write BL. It might end up as GL, it might end up as QL eventually, because honestly, all of those subgenres are important. So yeah, that's that. Um, yeah, soundtracks are important. I have a novel on the back burner where I have a full song that one of the characters sings. And that song I was planning on turning into an actual song and like using it as part of the novel promotion. Anyway, yes, a safe space. Uh, Part of the definition of BL, as I understand it, is at least in the way it's evolving, is that it's a fantasy world where the homophobia doesn't really exist, or if it does exist, it's not the main part of the plot. It's less obvious, and a lot of it is like demonstrating what would be the right way for a parent to react, or if not the parent, then a family member of some sort. I remember in Your Sky, it wasn't the parents, but it was the grandparent that changed everybody's way in that series. Make my own OST. Yes, Purple Mango. I should make my own OST. There'll at least be one song. I don't know if it'll be for every novel though. That would be interesting. I mean, for the song I did make, I've commissioned my mom to write the music because she does that really well. I'm not great at that myself, but it's a cool thought. All right. Any other questions today for me? This is the mini personal Q&A where you can ask me anything you'd like about me or about BL. Yes, that was an important of Your Sky, I think. It was. Yeah, the grandfather being accepting was such an important part of that series. And just demonstrating the way to be accepting. It was pretty cool. Okay, so another big thing about me, if while you guys are thinking of more questions, is I may enjoy heartwarming series as my comfort series, but I also am a bit addicted to spiciness. I actually would put Cutie Pie under spicy. I know that sounds crazy, but here I have written down in my notes that I'd put Cutie Pie as spicy, and Kin Porsche. So I may, when I'm feeling down or anxious, I may use a heartwarming series, but I also quite enjoy the spice. I love that show, and Naughty Babe. Naughty Babe is also fun. It's also spicy. Agreed. For those who are just joining, feel free to join the chat. This is designed as a Q&A format where we chat back and forth, and I'll be looking to the comments to see what you guys think, and if you have questions. Lita, Lita is Love in the Air. It always takes me a second. I always get there. Love in the Air, yes. Also spicy, but also fun. Spicy and fun. I don't know how many chili peppers I give that one. Out of 5, maybe 4. 4 out of 5 chili peppers. Did anybody watch the special episode for The Boy Next World? Has anybody seen it yet? Because I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it on platforms that weren't exactly kosher, so I didn't pay the $10 to watch it. You did. Okay, Purple Mango. You bought it on Vimeo. Was it worth $10? I must know. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to figure it out. Is it worth $10? Maybe. Watched it 3 times already. Okay, you've watched it 3 times already. Maybe it is. Maybe it's worth it then. I'll have to think about that. Maybe so. Okay. So, the main part of today, Ossan's Love Thailand. Here we go. This is going to be a Q&A session for Ossan's Love Thailand, which finished airing last Monday. I know it's been an entire week and a day, but I don't know, maybe we missed watching it last night. I know I did a little bit. I really enjoy Earth Mix a lot. They're two of my absolute favorite artists, actually. They are one of the ships I follow outside of series, and so Ossan's Love was amazing. So the first question, I guess, for everybody while we are waiting to see if you guys have any questions is, what was your favorite funny scene in Ossan's Love Thailand? For me, I'm trying to think back. The funny scene. Okay. I have to agree with Mix. I have a couple of notes here because Mix and Earth both said what their favorite scenes were in one of their press interviews. And Mix said, the translation of what he said anyway, from X, is that the scene he liked was when he rubbed his own shirt all over himself, or Mo rubbed his own scent all over himself with Hang's shirt. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me try again. Hang's going on a journey. Mo rubs his shirt all over himself to like put his scent on Hang's shirt for his journey. And he actually said in that moment that he was playing as himself, which is kind of hilarious. Because awesome. The scent marking was so funny. Yeah, we are talking about Ossan's Love Thailand already, and everybody's talking about their favorite scenes, their favorite funny scenes. And I was just telling everybody that Mix's favorite scene is the scent rubbing scene, which Earth also liked, but then you watched this special episode of The Boy Next World but no subs. That's rough. Do you speak a little bit of Thai? I might be able to follow most of it actually at this point. I'm pretty good with the Thai. Or I'm pretty good. Okay, I'm 50%. I understand 50% of the Thai. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you could call that pretty good. Studying Korean. Yeah, that makes sense. Studying Korean, so Spanish subtitles for The Boy Next World. Okay, so you had to mess with the settings in Vimeo to get it to play in English. That is really good to know. I'll have to remember that. In the meantime, watch it with like another language as the subtitles. I can't even imagine. Okay. Oh, Spanish is your first language. Buenos dias. That's como está. It's about as much as I've got. But lovely. There's a Spanish option. Cool. See, now I'm thinking of thank you in Thai. Anyway, You're welcome. Thank you. It's rough. Okay, so Ossan's Love Thailand, final episode, favorite funny scenes. We went over mixes, and then we've got Earth's favorite funny scene, which is where actually it's not a funny scene, it's just a scene he likes. This one isn't funny. Mixes is funny, but Earth's is just a scene he likes, and that's where they sat and drank beer together in front of the house. I guess he likes the cute romantic scenes. And then because he liked it because the lines flowed naturally, which is really sweet. Any other moments that when the beer was expired? Yes, that one. The expired beer scene. Oh, did they try it? I feel like they tried it and then they were like, "Oh, that was a bad idea." Or where they smelled it. I don't remember. That was 12 weeks ago. They threw it away, I think. Okay. My favorite was when the boss and Mo were arguing and they both pushed Hang to the ground. Yes. Oh, poor Hang. He went through it. He went through it so, oh, it was rough. It was so rough. They recreated in the finale. And I don't know. I think they didn't recreate it well enough because it did not stir his memory. Then again, it wasn't a key memory. So my favorite part is the song. Which song? Okay, because was it the one in the last episode or the Sipakak song with the yodeling? Yeah, the one in the last episode, the one where they had that whole Disney princess scene almost. Oh my goodness. Guys, I am so sorry. I guess my cat is joining the live. Hang just looked at them like WTF with the yodeling. Wait, did it freeze? Am I not going down all the way? I can't decide which song I like better. I can't decide if I like the song with the yodeling better or the song the Sipakak song, the first OST that was released. I don't remember what. Maybe I should have written down what all the songs were called since we're talking about songs. I can do better. Let me look it up. I loved that musical finale. I was in my feelings and cried while laughing. Yeah, the musical finale was really, really cool. My funny scene was in when Earth. Oh yeah, and yeah, Kong, is it Kong Deck? Yeah, Kong Deck. Yeah, I think. My funny scene was when Kong Deck's daughter and Earth, aka Hang, are spying on Mo with the pink wig. Yes, the pink wig. Oh my. Okay, Stuckling. Stuckling is the song that I found to be. That's the first OST. That's really funny. And then the other one, You Are My Best, was also really cute. That was the one with the that they sang for the other friend's wedding in the middle. And then who liked Nanon making a guest appearance with Say Yes? And then, oh my gosh, the random the random proposal scene from the boss. Who found that, like, was that uncomfortable for people or hilarious? Because I was a little bit of both in that particular scene. I was both uncomfortable and I thought it was funny. And like Hang saying that he couldn't say no because in front of Nanon, I don't know. I was cringing so hard. I was shocked to see Nanon. OMG, Hang and the boss were in the virtual reality game. So silly. Yes, Nanon was adorable. It was cringe as a it was really cringe. I was like, oh, the boss The boss isn't going to like this proposal. And the virtual reality game, they looked good in the virtual reality game. They really did. I don't know. And Hang was all like mature and capable in the game, unlike in real life, which that was great. They did look good in that, I admit, but it was pretty silly. Okay, yes, it was silly, but it was the only place he was comfortable enough to say no. Stuckling. Yes, Stuckling. The song is Stuckling. That's the one you like too. What is the other one? The other one is the newest one. I don't even see it here. You know what? It's on my favorites at this point because I really, really liked it. So, what was the name of the other song? The one at the end, so that people, if they see this, they can go look it up and find it and make it their own. Until. That one's called Until. So we have Stuckling and we have Until. And honestly, that kind of Thai music, that style of Thai music is probably my current favorite. And I particularly love it when they mix it with they mix that country folk style with like the pop music. I think that's super cool. The boss was so manipulative because he knew Hang was a pushover. Yes, that was probably part of it. He was such how would you call him a bully in love? Like he was like a bulldozer. He didn't listen and he didn't give Hang a chance ever to respond. He just kept going on and on. He never stopped. Oh, I really like the integration of classic and modern music. Yes, me as well. Boss was Delulu. Also true. Both of those things. Okay. He played it off by being selfish. I feel one thing I can say about this version of Osan's Love. I don't know if anybody's seen any other versions of Osan's Love, but this version, the boss, the way that Shakrit played the boss, I think was kind of spectacular. Like the nuance and depth he gave that character was really impressive. I think it's the best portrayal I've seen actually of that particular character in Osan's Love. Okay. And that's a great lead into the next question. Who was your favorite character? The next question is, who was your favorite character? I watched the beginning of the Japanese one, but my attention focused on the Thai version. That makes sense. For me, the Thai version is the best I've seen overall. So the second season of the Japanese version, I thought was a lot funnier than the first season. And then, all right, let's see what else have we got here in the comments. He was a fantastic actor. I love how we got to see older actors too. Yes, that was really lovely. And the fact I looked him up when I found out that he was playing Kong Dek, and that man has quite the resume. I don't know if anybody else has looked him up on my drama list, but the number of main roles he's had is kind of astounding, really. It's like no wonder he was able to portray that so well. Mo, you see yourself in Mo. Yes. Mo Mix is also a good actor, right? Mo was such a fun character. Of course, the boss was a great character. That's why I disliked him, but also felt pity for him. That is where I'm going to be speaking to, and that is that I think Kong Dek really is the central glue of the story. for me, Hang and Mo, even though I love Earth and Mix to death, and they played their characters beautifully, and their characters were great. Hang and Mo as characters never really grew out of their vices. You know, the end, Hang, in my humble opinion, never really um, stood up for himself. He never really succeeded in gaining that ability. You know, it wasn't Hang that walked away from the altar. It was the boss that like gave him permission to walk away. And then for Mo, I don't feel like he ever really fully let go of his insecurities either. In the final episode, it was Kongdek who saved the day once again. You know, the characters themselves, those two main characters, if it weren't for the boss bringing them together, I don't think they'd have gotten back together. So for me, Kongdek is my ended up being my favorite character. And I think this is the first time in watching this series that I can see why the title is Ossan's Love. I think the boss really brought a special quality to the series, but I'm always a sucker for Mix. Aren't we all? He's beautiful. They were how old? Boss was the catalyst. Right. This was just my second series of Earth and Mix. Oh, awesome. What else have you seen? Earth and Mix have a special space for me. I actually found it amusing every single time I saw on social media. Every time I saw people say, I don't think Earth or can fit this role, or I can't imagine Earth being in this role. I was always a little bit sorry guys. I was always a little bit astounded by that because I watched EMS Earth Mix Space, which is their variety show, and Earth is really close to being Hang in real life. At least the media presence that he gives to us is really close to Hang's personality. So I found that kind of entertaining. So there's a plug. If you haven't seen Earth Mix Space, that is a fantastic way to enjoy more of Hang and Mo in a lot of ways. And there's like at least 28 episodes out there now of EMS Earth Mix Space to watch on YouTube. Yuriza, please say you've seen Moonlight Chicken. Moonlight Chicken, and I'm watching Cupid's Last Wish right now. Okay, interesting. You are going in a very interesting order, Yuriza, because I feel like most people discovered Earth Mix through A Tale of a Thousand Stars. That was my first series from them. That series. Okay, that series is actually like finished airing just a few months before. Few months? Okay, maybe more than that. Like 5 months before I started following BL. They were in the middle of airing Cupid's Last Wish when I really got into it, and everyone was really irritated because it was only on Disney Plus Thailand and nobody could access it. So that's part of the reason why that one didn't get as much hype as it should have. Mine was MLC2, I think, and then I think Earth and Mix pick great plots. They are more interesting to me than some other BL plots. And then somebody else agreed with that, and then I'm agreeing as well. They're really good at picking plots. And apparently we're stuck with them since their most recent turn of phrase is they're planning, if it's BL, they're planning on doing it together for a long time. Is anybody ready for Only Friends? Because that's what's next. I saw the bit of Om Nanon in Our Sky too. OMG, bring it. I'm assuming that's related to Only Friends. Yes, the mess It's going to be a dazzling, sparkling, theatrical mess. And they're theater people, which is bound to be extra messy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I love watching social media just kind of explode in different directions. That's what happened in the last Only Friends. And I have a feeling this one's not going to be any different. I have also, okay, everybody loves the mess. Yes, mess. And then I have also seen 1000 Stars. It's so feel good. It is. Yes, a feel good series. Okay. I want to say okay, all right. If I mispronounce Au, is it Au? Au? Is that how we pronounce their names? And I have a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm feeling I have it wrong. Pronouncing the AOU sound is always feels complicated to me. Boom is easier. Yes, I'm excited about those two. Or is it ooh? All sorts of fire emojis, all sorts of fireworks. Yes, the way that those two, Au and Boom, portrayed their characters in Perfect 10-liners. If that's any indicator, then it's going to be fantastic because they played that toxic relationship so well. It's going to be fire. No idea about translation, but they're absolute fire. They deliver. Absolutely. Okay. It might be a while. It might be a while for the Only Friends. That's true. I think Earth and Mix mentioned the end of the year for that. Like we're going to have a bookend on the year. The beginning we have funny, and the end we're going to have spicy. Spicy's good. I don't know. Their fandom is so far, like I think Moonlight Chicken was the spiciest, and I don't think it's going to compare to Only Friends. And so hopefully everybody will survive. Because Cupid's Last Wish, cute and fluffy. Ossan's Love Thailand, cute and fluffy. Tale of 1,000 Stars isn't cute and fluffy, but it's at the very least like sweet and romantic. So yeah, we're going a different direction now. Moonlight Chicken, they kissed once and we ended. Only Friends will be the end of us. That's possible. Moonlight Chicken, did anybody happen to catch the okay, perhaps not. If you haven't, I will recommend to go hunting for it. But there is a different version of the opening NC scene for Earth and Mix that they aired during the fan meeting for the finale. That was something. Talk about spicy. So if you haven't seen that yet, I would say go hunt that one down. Because yeah, a lot of people say that like why did they go with the other scene? Why didn't they go with this one? There's a lot of discourse like that day. I woke up that morning and that was literally like my entire timeline was filled with just the one video over and over and over and over again. It was great. Okay. So I guess the next question to everybody is the recommendation question. Would you recommend it back to Ossan's Love, by the way? Ossan's Love. Would you recommend it for others to watch? GMMTV is like spicy light. I think that's changing. I mean, if you saw the other Only Friends, that was getting up there, and I don't know. Joss and Gawain are promising things for My Golden Blood. I guess we'll see what they mean by that. If they need a break in between toxic series, Ossan's Love will cleanse the palate. Yes, There's so many toxic series that seems to be the way series are going right now. So if you need a break from toxicity, go check out Osan's Love. Although one could argue that there is a subtle toxicity in that show too. It's just not blatant and it's mostly an office rom-com. I would also recommend Osan's Love Thailand. I thought it was really well orchestrated. The editing was great. The soundtrack was great. The acting was great. And honestly, like if you need something light and you're having a dark moment or something, then Osan's Love Thailand is definitely the show to watch. I've been spoiled by Boss and Noel. Spoiled. Okay. Can everybody hear me now? Is it working? Yay, we're back. Okay. Sweet. That was rough. Okay, so sorry about that. Like I think I lost the connection for a minute there. I'm glad we're back in. I was going to move on a little bit. So, Flirt Milk ended, and so did another series from Korea called Checkered Shirt. Both of those series ended last week. I didn't watch either of them fully. So if anyone has any thoughts about that, you can go ahead and put them in the comments. Flirt Milk is on Ichi and YouTube, and Checkered Shirt is only on YouTube. Purple Mango made it through Flirt Milk. Oh my lord. Okay. That's what you have to say about that. Flirt Milk was okay, but a little cringe. Fair enough. Little cringe, got it. Good to know. I think Checkered Shirt would have been better if I could have watched the extended scenes. That was a part of it for me. I wasn't willing to go through the pay barrier for the extended scenes in Checkered Shirt. And then also I saw I don't know, it looked like it was going to get messy and in in that moment I was watching enough messy. I didn't need yet another one. It had an open ending too. Checkered Shirt also had an open ending. Okay, guys, I don't know how I feel about open endings. Maybe I'm okay with the fact that I didn't finish that. And it seems like maybe I'm okay with the fact that I didn't finish Flirt Milk either. Flirt Milk reminded me of older BLs with a lot of choppy scenes and skipping around. I want to fix the editing or something. Okay. Yeah. That was my vibe in the first couple of episodes was that it was a little choppy, which is interesting because you know we're not in 2017, 2018 anymore. 2019 even. Okay, so there's the news on those two shows. So for anybody else who's in there, I guess I guess no need to watch that one. And then your visa, you have the membership for Soup Film? Okay, so it just has extra kissing and a little extra spicy spice. That's always fun. So no more plot, really? Okay, that was the plot. Well, I mean, the episodes are only 9 minutes. It doesn't really take up too much of your time. So if you're looking for something short and easy to watch, that would that would be a good choice, I suppose. All right. Next up are the shows that started this last week. We have Heesu in Class 2, which is a Korean BL that I found here in the United States on Viki. And then Everybody was like, it's a BL. I thought it was going to be bromance, but yeah, it is a BL, and the labels on Vicky say BL. The premise is that we have a relationship advice giver who uh, basically is in love with his bestie, but the bestie doesn't know, and it looks like it's going to be somewhat of a kind of triangle mess thing kind of going on. The bestie basically says yes to everybody, and maybe he has difficulty saying no, kind of like Hing in Ossan's Love. So Heesu in class 2, the first 2 episodes were really good. I would say that one is going to be a winner. So that one is on Fridays and Saturdays. There's 2 episodes a week. And then we've got, yes, and also the main lead in Heesu is adorable. Then we've got Fight for Love, which is a Taiwanese BL on Fridays, and I found it here in the United States on Gaga Ulala. Honestly, for me, the first episode was kind of shaky. The second episode was a little better, and I'm going to try one more to see if I can get into it or not. But I was really struggling getting into that series. I don't know if anybody else has comments about Fight for Love, but yeah, for me, I had difficulties. And then we had the beginning of the little special spinoff of Your Sky that started this last weekend on Ichii on Saturday. Your Sky of Us, it was called. Your Sky of Us episode 1 was really cute. It was very, very fluffy. Not much meat to the plot, very fluffy. So I'm interested to see what the other 2 episodes are about, because the first one seemed like the whole storyline was all there. So I'm not sure what the other 2 will be about. Very fluffy, very sweet. Yep, adorable. Thomas Kong are so cute. Yes, that about summarizes that very nicely. Absolutely. Another mention is a series, a Vietnamese series on YouTube called Stand By Me. I just found it a few weeks ago. It had already been airing for 3 months. There are 20 episodes. Each episode is like between 20 and 30 minutes long. It is a school-aged Vietnamese BL, and it's on YouTube. And if you find me on social media, I have like little review and links, a link to the playlist. I can also put a link to the playlist in the description for this show. So look for the link in the description. But yeah, that show, if you need something to do on like a rainy Saturday and Sunday, since it is 20 episodes long, that show was really sweet. My favorite character was the grandmother. So cute. And well edited and acted for a smaller production house. Yay, someone saw my post already about that one on Threads. Awesome. If Exclusive Love doesn't pick up soon, I might drop it and replace it with that one. That's fair. Exclusive Love is also not the easiest watch. It's a little slow. I've been trying to watch that one. I don't know. I feel like I'm invested now that we're like 8 episodes in. We're 8 episodes in, and I still debate every week whether or not I'm going to keep watching it. The amount of yelling at my screen. That is fair. Okay, guys. So if you haven't started Exclusive Love yet, that's not one that you have to start, apparently. And I think we're just about out of time today with that. I'm just sticking with it till the end at this point. That's fair. At some point, you're kind of past the point of no return. We're at the end of today's live. next week we are going to be talking. We're going to be talking about perfect 10-liners. I cannot. It ends on Sunday. Cannot believe it ends on Sunday. Yeah, so we'll get to chat all about it next Tuesday. And has everybody been watching Perfect 10-liners? Because it might be one of my favorites currently airing, and the fact that it's ending is so sad. So yeah, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about our favorite moments. We're going to reminisce next Tuesday. Again, I'm going to put it at the end too. Next Tuesday's live will be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am a teacher and I will not be available at 4:30 next week due to testing kids. So 6 p.m. next week for this live, and we'll be doing perfect 10-liners. Until then, I'll talk to you guys next time. I adore perfect 10-liners too, and I bought the first 2 books on Meb as well. All right, everybody, thank you for your patience through some of the technical difficulties. And Perth Santa and Junior Mark were exceptional. Everyone was great, but those caught my eye. Yes, me too. Loved it. Bye, everybody. I hope to see you next time. Until we meet again. Bye, and thank you. Thank you for your kudos. I appreciate that. Appreciate you all. I'll talk to you guys next time.